It's Transformers 96 here with another video review. This time we have the Man of Steel 3 3/4 inch Shadow Assault General Zod. So here you go. So this is obviously the week that Man of Steel comes out. It comes out Friday, so all this week will just be 100% Man of Steel videos from me. If everything goes to plan, I'll post 2 Man of Steel videos today, and then 1 Man of Steel video every day up until Friday when I'll post my last Man of Steel video. And on Friday it will be the Man of Steel himself, the movie master Superman. So here you go. So this is the 3 3/4 inch General Zod. Thought that I'd just do 2 videos today because I had more than 5 videos. More than 5 toys to review, so thought that I should do 2 one day, and this is the day. So the General Zod himself. So as you can see, pretty cool. So this is the new 3 3/4 inch line that Mattel comes out with. If you know Mattel by now, you should know that they pretty much come out with a 3 3/4 inch line that's just for kids, and then a Movie Masters series that's just for adults, which I think is it's very different from Hasbro. Hasbro tries to tailor their figures so that they're not specifically for either party, but they fit for either party, which is smart. But I do like Mattel's way of doing it, and this was one 3 3/4 inch figure that I could not resist. I'm a big General Zod fan, cannot wait to see him in movies, so that's why I picked up this one. So I'm sure many of you want to know what's the differences between, the Man of Steel 3 3/4 inch line compared to Dark Knight Rises and Green Lantern, the last 2 Mattel series. So I'll go over that in a second. First of all, as accessory-wise, well, let's go over the package. You've got the name of it, 2-in-1 Mega Blade. You've got a nice picture of Superman in the corner, a Superman logo, Man of Steel it says. On the back, you get a picture of the figure, how the accessory works, and some other toys. I'm not 100% sure what these are. These are kind of like the weapon toys and stuff, not quite action figures themselves. So yeah, so box is pretty nice, nothing too special, nothing bad, but it's good, no problem. So as far as his accessory, he comes with this. Now this is not a horrible accessory, I have to say. It's actually kind of neat. Just focus. It's pretty cool. When you put them together like they are at the moment, they form pretty much a gun with a blade at the bottom, and they can be split, so then he can hold this massive blade, which I really don't like. I think the blade is way too big, or he can have the gun. I think the gun is way too big too. I don't know why they can't just make these things like to scale with the 3 3/4 inch line. It would save them money on plastic, and I think a lot of people would just be happier. But what are you going to do? The blade goes in and it fits very nicely. It doesn't fall out or anything. It is just a solid brown, no extra paint. And that is the one area where this figure does seem to be lacking, is paint. Not quite accurate. Going over his costume, which costume he has on right now, this is his Kryptonian armor, not the armor that he wears on Earth. That is very different. He has 3 sets of clothing throughout this movie, from what I've seen in the trailer. He's got this, the Kryptonian armor, and then this. So we see him wearing this armor many times in the movie. We see it, or in the trailer, we see him wearing this costume when he's arrested, when he's in the shackles, and when he's getting punched by Superman. And then we see this costume really one time in the trailers in the past. If you want to see this costume more, I suggest watching the Nokia exclusive trailer. And this, you see it when General Zod, Fayor is next to him, and his crew, just behind him walking up. That is his armor right now. So as you can tell, it isn't painted right, because in that shot a lot of it is browns, and then there are some black and silver highlights. It shouldn't just be a plain flat black. So I don't love that. The color does seem to be off, unfortunately. Not a huge problem. It is, like I said, they make the toys for the kids, the 3 3/4 inch ones at least, so you can't really harp on that kind of stuff. Overall, the sculpt itself, not bad. Let's get it to focus here. There we go. It's a nice sculpt. You've got some nice detailing, pretty intricate for a toy that's exclusively made for kids. You get the big symbol, his big family crest right there, which does look really nice. Painted extremely well too. No paint bleeding and anything there, which is impressive. And then you see his face. Of course, this is without the goatee, and that is another tip-off of the armor. And then you do have his hair there. The hair seems to be painted a little off, just from where you can see where it's sculpted. The paint's a little off, but it is nice. It is actually sculpted hair too. It's not just painted on hair, which is pretty cool. And then he does have the cape. The cape does feel a little flimsy. It's not the best made. It's very cheesy. You've just got the like sharp edges. You know, this is the villain's cape. Yeah, it's not really how it is in the movie from what I've seen. I have seen a picture of a like variant statue, I'm gonna call it, and it's in this armor of General Zod, and he's got this huge just like fur coat on. I don't know if that's accurate. From what I see in the trailer, it seems to be more like this. Just not as completely all sharpened like this, which is a little ridiculous. Unfortunately, well, actually, you really can't see it that much, but you can see there's a little hole right there, and then like another little hole up here. That's, or actually just right here. That's because it is actually held into the plastic by a little tie. So you do have to cut that, and unfortunately, it does leave a litlittle hole. Not the biggest complaint in the world, though. Not too bad. At the bottom can start like fraying and stuff. So I'm not too into the cape, but overall, the actual sculpt is really nice. They did a great job. As far as articulation, this seems to be the most, you know, just horrible part about these 3¼ figures. He still doesn't have very good articulation, but it's much better than the previous ones in the past. He's got a ball jointed head, which works pretty well, and he can look side to side and a little up and down too, which is nice. Pretty well done. He's got ball hinge shoulders. Impressive. They have absolutely improved the arm articulation. Before it was just swivel shoulders for most of the figures, and then he does have a hinge elbow, which is really great. The first 3¼ figure from the new DC movie figures that actually moves well like that, and then just swivel hips. So now let's just do the comparison between the other DC movie Mattel 3¼ figures. So as you can see, I do have a representation of each one. You've got Sinestro from the Green Lantern series, which came out in 2011, I'm pretty sure, yeah. And then you've got Bane here, which came out in 2012, and General Zod, which came out in 2013. As far as the plastic, you get more plastic with General Zod just because of his bulk, definitely. As far as the actual sculpts, the sculpt for the Sinestro is pretty nice. They lots of good detail in there. The same really good detail in General Zod. I'd say even more in General Zod. And then Bane has horrific detail. As far as articulation, Bane is by far the weakest with 5 points of articulation. General Zod has the best articulation, but not by a whole lot. He's got a ball jointed head, ball hinge shoulders, hinge elbows, and then swivel hips. He's got swivel hips, swivel waist, and ball hinge arms, or ball hinge shoulders, and then a ball jointed head. So overall, General Zod really does beat him because he does have the hinge elbows, which is extremely impressive. Overall, out of the 3 toy lines, the Man of Steel one seems to be definitely the best, so I highly recommend that if you really just hated the other 3¼ figures, you're probably going to like the Man of Steel ones a little bit better because they are definitely made better, which is really great. They could have stuck with what they did with the Dark Knight Rises series and came out with the crappy figures like they did, but it's actually pretty good. I'd say it's close to it, but it does still beat the Green Lantern series as well, because the Green Lantern series of 3¼ figures were not bad. They were actually pretty okay. The Dark Knight Rises was horrible, and this is actually pretty good. So if you're a collector, I wouldn't recommend getting these over Movie Masters. They're not a replacement at all. These are for if you're a hardcore fan of a character and you want to just get all the different versions, absolutely, then you gotta get this. I'm a big General Zod fan, so I had to get this. Overall, a really nice toy, and thank you for watching.